Hey dreamers, it's Jade. I know it's been a while, but I've been dealing with some stuff, and frankly, I just have not been motivated. But I do have an idea for a new journal spread that I want to do, and it will require me to make my own stickers. Now, you guys know that often in my journal, when I'm doing stuff, I like to create my own stickers for some of my spreads just to tailor it to my needs. So, like right here, I found this 2020 thing and made it into a sticker here. This was a digital download from a shop, and since I have a silhouette, instead of sometimes all the time paying for when stickers that they actually have to physically send to you, I'll just do the digital download and make my own. So yeah, so like here, I was talking about Anne with an E, and so I found images online and just made them into my own stickers. So that kind of thing, you guys know I love to do. Here, Charlie, for King Arthur, he's a sticker. That kind of Duck Donuts here. And so, yeah, I just like to go through. As you can see, I have several sheets of stuff. Some digital downloads, some images I found online and just made into downloads or whatever. So I do not sell these because most of these are not my own images. Some of them are. But I just use them personally for my own personal journal. And so, like I said, I have an idea for a journal that I want to do. Just things in the moment that make me happy. And so, I want to make my own stickers. So I just thought I could walk you guys through that process of how I make my own stickers, since I have gotten a couple questions about it in the past. So yeah, we'll do that really quickly. I'm going to transfer over to the computer, and then I will show you what I do with my silhouette. And yeah, so hopefully this turns out okay. Fingers crossed. Okay, guys, we are in Silhouette Studio. I have the business edition. Now, this comes with the basic. If you have Silhouette, well, actually, even if you don't have a Silhouette, you can download Silhouette Studio and play around with the software and get the hang of it. So, if you're considering buying a Silhouette, you can kind of get yourself used to the software before you actually get it. So, you can definitely do that. I've upgraded to the business edition. There's three different ones. There's the basic, and then there's another one in between that and the business. I can't remember the name of it. But I just went ahead and got the business edition. Now, what I'm going to be doing, you can still do in the basic edition. You do not need business edition or the one stepped up to do what I'm about to do. So let's go ahead and get started. This is what it will look like once you come into a Silhouette Studio. Here is where you have the main stuff, your page setup, and things of that nature. So here I'm just going to be tracing the images that I want to use and outlining them so I can get them print and cut on my silhouette. So here are the basic default settings for an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, which is the type of the size of the sticker paper that I'm going to be using. But you also want to come over here and go to page setup, because I'm going to be printing and cutting, so you definitely going to want your registration marks on. And actually, I'm going to do this towards the end when I'm actually ready to print and things like that. Okay. So first, we're just gonna get our stickers set up. So here, I just placed the ones that I wanted to use in this folder that says pics. And so what I like to do is decide on the pictures that I want to use. Now, my suggestion would be for what I'm about to do is, if you're like gonna need a pic like this one or this one. Love Ed Sheeran's music, love Charlie Hunnam, love his movies. So if I'm like getting a person or whatever, I try to find pictures where the background is a solid color. So this one actually was not. I ended up having to trace it out in Photoshop to get the solid white. Same with this one, but sometimes you'll see, they'll have the images that are solid color, or you can type in whoever you're looking for in PNG, and they'll have the transparent background or just a solid white background, which to me is the easiest to trace out, and that's why I look for those. Um, when you got a whole lot of nonsense going on in the background, it's going to be a pain in the butt to trace out, okay? Um, Next, I drew this wonky little switch here, and so I'm going to be using that, and I'm also going to be using this to stick kind of there, but I'll get all that size and I'll show you what I'm going to do, and I'll do these one at a time. See, this is already a transparent background, and all I did was type in Google Animal Crossing New Horizons logo PNG. Okay, so that's what you can do with anything you're looking for. So say you're looking for boys to men. You could type in boys to men PNG or something like that. So anyway, let's get started. I don't want to keep rambling. I think you guys get the picture. So we're gonna start with Ed here. And like I said, I did trace that out, so thankfully I have a just nice solid white background. And so here I'm gonna go to the trace tool. It's right here. It kind of to me looks like a little butterfly, and you can also get to it somewhere over here. I don't know, but I just like to use these panels over here. Okay, so this is the trace tool, and you're gonna click select trace area. And unless you're running a different version of the software, everything should be the same. But I mean, you'll have everything in there, it just may be in a different position or whatever, because I have the latest software and it's updated to the latest update. So just wanted to say that some people don't like the latest update, so they don't do it, and things may be switched or whatever, but you still have all the same tools that I have. You just have to find where they are if they're not in the same spot as mine. But here I'm at the trace tool, select trace area, and so here I'm just gonna select Ed and his guitar. Okay, and see how it gets filled in a little bit with the yellow. Oh, I want Ed completely filled in, so I'm just going to come over here to threshold, and instead of 45 I'm going to put it at 100. And so there you got Ed completely filled in. I think I'm going to come down off of it just a little. No, maybe not. Okay, so he's filled in, and so what I want to do is hit first trace and detach. And so that detaches that white background. And so you just get Ed all by himself. Yay! Okay, so again, I'm going to come back and trace over Ed again, because we want to get the outline that our machine is going to cut, so it's not cutting like into Ed or whatever. So select trace area again, select Ed again. Again, you have him filled in a little bit with the yellow, and you want him all the way filled in with the yellow. So I'm going to hit 100 here, and then instead of tracing detach this time, I'm just going to hit trace outer edge. And as you can see, there is a red outline around Ed Sheeran. Now I could leave it like that and just have my machine cut out the red part for Ed Sheeran. Personally, I like to do a little bit of an offset. There are some people that like a large offset, which gives you a big, huge white border around the sticker. I don't like mine so big, so we're just gonna cut it down just a little bit. So what I'm gonna do is just right click on that red line, and here you get a list of options here. And you can also go over to the to the right panel, and there's an offset over there as well that you could use. I think this might be it here or whatever. But to me, it's easier just to right click the little red line and hit offset here. Yeah, see, it's this star. And so it gives you another red line, which will confuse the machine. So what I'm going to do first, like I said, I don't want my offset that large. I don't like that much white space. So I'm going to cut it down to, usually I do around like 0.04. And so as you can see, that line shrunk. So it's not that much white space left. And also, like I said, don't want the machine getting confused and cutting out double red lines. So I'm going to change that offset red line to black. And so I'm going to come over here, and this is the lines panel. Okay? And so you have the line style, all of that kind of stuff. You just want to hit this here, line color. And I'm just going to hit the black color. And so as you can see, Ed is now outlined in black. So that's the line that I'm going to have my machine cut, and not that red one. And so once all that is done, you want to select all of it together and make sure you group it. Because if you don't, okay, let me ungroup it really quickly just to show you. If you don't, and you move something, you can see you can move Ed right out of those lines that you just made. So I'm just going to hit back. You don't want that, so make sure that you group that all together. And so there, now you can move Ed wherever you need to move Ed, and all of his tracing and all that kind of stuff is still together. And then you can size it however you want to size it. Okay, so yeah, so Ed is done, and we're gonna move on to Charlie. All right, and to trace, I'm just gonna make him a little larger. Okay, we're gonna go back here to the trace tool. Okay, and select trace area, and we're gonna make sure we get all of him in the trace area. Okay, again, so you get a little bit of the scattered yellow going on here, but you want it completely yellow. Alright, so we have Charlie all yellow here. Again, we're going to do trace and detach to get rid of that white that's around him. Alright, and then, so we did that, it's finished. All we have to do is move that white and delete it. Now this is not moving, okay? And that's fine for my purposes, for what I want to do, okay? I'm okay with that. So I'm just going to select him again. All right. And then again, 100. And trace. Alright, so Charlie's all traced. And then I want to, again, with my offset, right click, offset. Again, you get that large, ridiculous offset. And I'm going to hit 0.04. Apply, and see, it brings it down again. And again, I'm going to change it to black. Okay, so I'm hitting the line, hitting this one, hitting my black, and again I want to select it all and press group. Okay, so Charlie's not moving out of his lines there, and I can size him up and down however I want. So lastly is this, and this is just my little janky switch that I made. I need to go back and do it a little better, but for the purposes of this video and my journal, this is good enough for now. So again, I'm going to cut this out. I'm hitting the trace tool. I'm hitting 100. Boom. All trace. Now I want to trace and detach. Okay. And so that white space is gone. And then now what I want to do is I want to stick Animal Crossing on my screen so it's all together and it looks cohesive and it looks like it belongs there. Maybe go a little bit smaller. Boom. I think that'll work. Yeah, that looks like whatever. Anyway, I'm going to select trace area. Okay. Again, I want to go 100. And okay, see, I want to wait. Let me click out of this real quick because since I put that there, it's gonna pick that up too. And I don't want it picking that up and cutting that out as well. Okay, so let's do that again without that, and then we'll stick that on at the end. All right, and then okay, here we go. So that's trace. We're gonna hit 100 over here. All right, so I just want to trace the outer edge of that. All right, and then now I can add this back, and then I also want to do offset. Okay, same deal, 0.04. And you guys play with that setting. You may not like it as close, you may not like it as far. Just play with it and see what you like. My settings do not have to be your settings. You just have to figure out what's aesthetically pleasing to you as far as when you're cutting stickers or anything like that. So I did that. I made the outline. Again, I want to change that line to black. So we're cutting all black lines, and then again I want to group all of this together. So, and that's why I put that Animal Crossing there. So now that doesn't move even with that. So it's all grouped together, okay? And so I can move this up and down as much as I need to, okay? And so we have our stickers pretty much made. Now I just have to figure out what sizes that I want to print them at. Excuse me, guys. I know I'm stuffy here. So now we get to the part where this page setup matters. So you want to go into page setup, and click here. You want to click here because you want to put these registration marks on. So when you're and I'm going to show you the paper that I use. So once your sticker paper, and you can use whatever sticker paper you want. I will link to the brand that I get. But you can like simply go to Walmart and get label sheets and use that if you want, okay? But you want to cut those registration marks on because that's what your machine is going to read to be able to cut your lines that you need. Now here, these are the default settings, but I like to use as much of the sticker paper as I can, and so I'm going to change the default settings. And yeah, put it down as much as possible. So yeah, so it gives me more room to work with here as far as where I can place my stickers. So now if it was like, hold on, I'm gonna put the defaults back real quick. So this area here where these hash marks are, what these crosses or whatever, like if you was, because you want to get your images within the red line here, okay? But you also cannot put them where those hash marks are. Otherwise, your thing will not print right. It will not pick up right. I'm telling you, that was one thing that was baffling me one time, and I didn't realize I had my stuff in this area, or I had it in there and didn't realize it was an issue. And I'm like, why won't this print right? It was cutting all wonky, and it kept doing that. I wasted a lot of paper. So I'm letting you guys know, if anything is in this hash mark, it is not going to cut right, okay? So you want to make sure it's not in there if you keep the default settings or whatever. But like I said, I want to use as much of the paper as I can. So it just leaves a little bit where you cannot put that, okay? So anyway, we're going to place our stickers here. Let's see. And I think what I'm going to do is just do a few multiples of each so I can have different sizes. And I'll just figure it out in my journal what I want to do. So I'm just going to do copy, paste, and make him a little tinier. Again, copy. Oh, I didn't copy. See? All right, Ed, you can be printed out 3 times because I like you. All right, copy, paste, and then we're gonna size Charlie down a little bit and do another one. And this is how a lot of times I end up with multiples of my stuff because I like to print several copies because I don't always know what size I want in my journal, or I'm working in my journal and I have one size in mind, but then another size fits better. So, just that's why I usually just like to make a few different sizes at a time. And then, okay, with this one, same deal. Copy, paste. Again, I like to use up as much of sticker paper as I can. Uh-oh. So I will turn this way and come down a little bit. Here. Yeah. And then do it again. I'm gonna make another one because I have been playing Animal Crossing like crazy. Alright. Just make this a little bigger. Alright, so I have all of that ready. Ready to go. So now what I need to do is get my sticker paper and I need to print and cut it. Okay? So over here, what you want to do is for your settings, and I'm going to cut my thing on. You see how we press send and everything is outlined in red here? Well, we do not want to cut the red. We want to cut those black lines that we made. So what you're going to do is come to this thing that says align and hit line, okay? And so now you see both the black and the red lines that we made. So you want to click that red line off, okay? You do not want to be cutting out those red lines. At least I don't. In my versions, I do not want to cut out my red lines. And it looks like Ed and Charlie's heads are like really close to that edge. So I'm going to bring them down just a little bit, okay? So I'm going back into design. And I'm just going to bring them down slightly. Alright. You too, Ed. You come on down. Just a little bit. I think I moved Ed. I'm not sure. He looks like he's in the paper there. So, anyway, we're going back to send, okay? So, you just want to make sure that black line is on because that's what's going to cut. And down here for your settings, I have mine already set to sticker paper white, which should already bring up the settings for your sticker paper. These should be the settings for a kiss cut. And what that means is basically like when you get a sticker sheet, you have like a block of paper and then you're able to just peel whatever sticker you want off. That's a kiss cut. So instead of it cutting all the way through, it should just be a nice kiss cut for the papers. That's what we're going to do or whatever. And so this is how you set that part up, okay? First, you want to come back here. I just wanted to show you guys that. But you definitely want to get your sticker paper out and print this first, okay? So, what I'm going to do really quickly is pause this recording and I'm going to show you the sticker paper I use and what it looks like, print and cut. And actually, and then I'll come back and show you the rest, okay? Okay guys, I have everything printed out. So this is what it will look like. You see the registration marks here, whatever. And I am, because my ink or toner runs or whatever, I actually need to replace it. So I'm just gonna spray a little fixative on my sheet. You probably will not have to do this because you probably have a properly working printer at the moment. See that? Yeah, it's time to change out the toner, and I'm just being cheap. Anyway, so it's all printed out. This is the brand of sticker paper that I use. Again, it's the rock, paper, scissors. It's the removable sticker label paper. Any materials that I'm using, I will try to have linked below if anybody is interested. So yeah, and what I'm going to do is place it on the cutting mat. Now, of course, the Silhouette comes with its own cutting mat. Mine is it's flimsy, and it's pretty much been used to pieces. Like, it's really not that sticky anymore, so I don't use it very much. I actually need to replace it, but you can also use a Cricut mat. It's the same thing. It fits the same. It's the same size. So yes, you can use Cricut instead of Silhouette on a Silhouette machine, just in case you did not know. So that's what I'm going to be using here. And so here is our sticker sheet, and I just want to line it up with either side, either here or there. I'm just going to go here. So I'm just going to line it up with that line at the top and down here on the side. And press it down. Sometimes I get my little bone folder out and help to press it down where it's not, where it doesn't have something printed or whatever. So, and that's how you prepare it. Now I'm going to show you, I'm going to record the screen when I hit the send button, and then I'm going to try to actually show you. Let me see if I can position this thing now, because I want you to see the Silhouette now. Where mine is not the greatest position, but this is the space that I have for it. So yeah, I'm gonna try to put this on the tripod and see if that you can't get a better angle with that. But as you can see, it's up above. Like I said, not the best position, but it is what it is for now. So yeah, and then I'll show you what I'm hitting on the computer and all of that. 1 second. Okay, I think that's a little better. I know it's not the best angle, guys, but my tripod, that's as far as it's going, as far as up. So anyway, we have our mat prepared. So what you want to do is, the Silhouette has this little guide thing here, which is cool. I actually rarely use it, but it's helpful, I guess. So there's a line here for where you can stick the mat that shows you. It's a guide here. See? And that's where I'm gonna stick it, okay? And then up here, I know you cannot read it, but it just says load and unload, and I'm just gonna hit the load button. So once that's done, actually, let me do that again real quick because I was moving this around. Let me get that lined up. Okay. So once that's done, the machine basically kind of grabs the mat. Okay. So that's it. Okay, so we're back on screen. So you want to go to send, and we already have our setup. We have the black outlines, the line here. We have the sticker paper selected. So just in case you don't know, if you're working with something else, it has a lot of different stuff listed here: cardstock, glitter, plain, whatever. But of course, we're using the sticker paper white. So it'll bring up its own settings. automatic settings, these may not work for you. You may need to play around with them or whatever. But the last time, I think the last time I cut, these worked fine. So we're going to go with this for now. Okay? And so basically all I want to do is press send. And then I have to adjust here because my machine is up here, and that mat will hit the wall if I don't. So that's why I said this is not the best place for this, but it is what it is until I can find a better spot in my room for it. Whatever. So now it's just gonna do its thing and cut. Okay guys, we have the finished product here, so let's see if it cut correctly. Oh, nope, it cut right on through. See, this is what bothers me about these stupid settings sometimes. See, look. Oh, that aggravates me. Thought it was going to do a kiss cut, but it did not, so I have to play around with my settings again. But regardless, I still got my stickers made. See, I prefer kiss cuts just because, see, the extra paper, well, not with this because it's messed up by the ink, but like the extra paper, the white space, I will use this thing again because I'm not about wasting. If I can use it again, I will. But anyway, the sticker still came out, so it's not a big deal. Whatever. Just peel that off. And see, here's where it would be great to have one of those. I need to get me one. I've been meaning to for a while now. The scraper tool. What do you call it? The little spatula. Yeah. See, now if you just wanted to make like die cut stickers, then that setting would be great. But I guess not with Kiss Cut. I need to put them back to my other settings that I used to use. Yeah, I think that's what it was. I used the default settings, and I probably should have used the settings that I used to use to get that Kiss Cut. Anyway, it doesn't matter now. We got our stickers cut regardless. So that is pretty much it. So yeah. Anyway, I have my stickers ready to use for my journal when I'm ready to do my layout. And that is pretty much it for this. I know that was a little haphazard and all over the place because of where I have my positioning and all that kind of stuff. So if you guys have any comments or questions about anything, feel free to ask. And I will do my best to answer and clear anything up that didn't quite make sense. So yeah, that is it. Again, comments and questions, leave them below. Thank you guys for hanging in there with me. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you to my new subscribers. People have been subscribing to my channel, even with me not posting anything the last few weeks now. So I really appreciate you guys. I hope everyone is out there and you guys are safe and happy and healthy. And I will catch you all in the next video. So thanks again. Bye.